So let's get straight into this. If you're thinking of relocating to Marbella, the Costa del Sol, then there are pros and cons that should be considered before you make that decision. So in this video, I'm going to take you through some of the benefits and the drawbacks of living in such a beautiful place. Now, Marbella is synonymous with luxury, and of course, if you come to the very heart, the Marbella Club, the Puente Romano, you can expect to pay high prices for dining, for eating, for everything in fact. But don't think that there aren't other options. You just need to know where to look, and I've got a few that I can show you. So I've just walked 3 minutes from where we were before in the Marbella Club up to the Golden Mile, and I arrive at Venta Los Pacos. This has been here since 1951. It's a typical Andalusian venta. It serves a menú del día, which costs 14 euros. That's a 3-course meal for 14 euros right in the heart of Marbella. Look, just because we're in Marbella doesn't mean we have to always spend a lot of money. And this is the best supermarket. It's a Spanish chain of supermarkets. It's family owned, very high quality produce. You can get everything here and it won't hurt your wallet. In this supermarket, and you find them in every town and city in Spain, you get really good produce. And many times I've had clients say to me when they've been in here just how reasonably priced all of this fresh food is. So you don't have to break the bank every time you want to eat. You've just got to be smart. And so, of course, as you would expect with Marbella being such a luxury destination, there are plenty of outlets where things are higher prices. This, for example, this is a department store. It's a chain of department stores all over Spain called El Corte Inglés. And here you can buy designer everything, whether it be kitchen goods, whether it be clothes, food, whatever it is you want, you'll get the best of the best here in El Corte Inglés. And it's wonderful, but of course it's not for everyday shopping. You really need to know where to go to make sure that your weekly shopping isn't going to break the bank. Of course, when we have a climate like this, such a perfect climate, then inevitably we also have access to all sorts of fresh fruits and vegetables grown locally. These markets, this one is in Marbella, exist all over Spain. Indoor markets that sell fruit and vegetables, spices, herbs, beans and pulses, fresh flowers, everything you can possibly think of. And of course, perhaps most importantly, we have the bodega, which sells the locally grown wine, for which Andalusia actually is very well known. And to accompany your wine, it might be that you choose meat. On the other hand, you can choose fish. And as you would expect, when you live this close to the sea, there is a very wide access to fish and seafood. All sorts, everything that you could possibly wish for, and you can buy it here fresh in this local market. You see, when you have the type of beaches and mountains that we have here, I mean, look at La Concha today. You can hardly see the top of her. We've got a very rare thing called cloud, which we don't see an awful lot of here. But the point is that when you have this climate, you live outside. Of course, we have wonderful big shopping arcades like this one, the Centro Comercial. But shopping is not a pastime for people like it is in the United States or in England. Here, the families prefer to prioritize their time outside on the beaches playing sports. Of course, one of the biggest advantages of living in the Costa del Sol, Marbella, Spain, is this climate. We have over 320 days of sunshine every year. And what does this mean? What does this climate give us? It gives us boundless opportunity to engage in sports and outdoor activities, whether it be organized sports, whether it be children playing outside, whether it be this incredible boardwalk that we have spanning from Malaga all the way down to Sotogrande, or it could be that you like sailing. Whatever it is you want to do, we've got it here in Marbella. And of course, how can we talk about Marbella's sporting facilities without mentioning this, the famous Puente Romano Marbella Tennis Club? Just look at this beautiful place in the shadow of La Concha Mountain. This tennis club was inaugurated in 1979 by Bjorn Borg, so it's got really good tennis history. And it's also home to a number of Davis Cup tournaments. A lot of famous tennis players have played here over the years. And so what about Marbella as a place to bring children up? Well, you've come to the right place to ask that. My son was born here. He spent his whole life here. He went to school here. This coast is amazing for children. You cannot do better. The climate, the lifestyle, the interaction of all sorts of different cultures, multilingual. Kids here thrive. They're outside all the time. Look at this now, we're in November. Children are playing, they're doing sports, they've left school. It's a wonderful place for kids. This is San Pedro. As you can see, this whole boulevard sweeping through the town has been dedicated to a place where children and families can enjoy, can pass their time. And it's not just places like this, it's also the beaches. There are so many options for families with children to really enjoy their lives under the sunshine. It's freedom. That's what this is. It's freedom. That's what we want for our children. We want our children to experience something which we had when we were growing up. And this is it. This is very, very special. So there is one disadvantage of this coast which needs to be mentioned, and that is that you really do need a car when you're here. The whole of the Costa del Sol is from Malaga in the east right down to Sotogrande in the west. And frankly, it's not easy using public transport because although there are plenty of buses along the main thoroughfares, obviously you have to go inside a little bit into each area. But the good news is that most of the poblaciones, villages, towns, have their own commercial areas, and usually there's quite a buzz around those areas. The locals come and eat, drink, shop, set up businesses, so there are plenty of options. This is a place called Guadalmina, and it's just on the west side of Marbella, and it's one of the most popular areas for residential living. Something important to tell you about Marbella is that if you're looking to come here hoping to find a job, it's not really the place for you. Why do I say that? Well, traditionally Marbella has been a destination for retired people, obviously tourism, and people with second homes. But only in more recent years have people such as myself actually moved here and established, creating more of an infrastructure of working environment. So it is changing. But for now, most of the jobs are in hospitality, in the hotel industry, and so on. So what do we find? We find that the majority of those relocating to Marbella are bringing their work with them. They could be entrepreneurs, they might be on a nomad visa. They can use co-working centres such as this one here, where they rent a bit of an office space and they carry on the business that perhaps they brought with them from whatever country they came from. So bear that in mind. If you are looking to work here, then it's better that you bring it with you. That's the best way to describe it. And if you're looking to relocate here, get in touch with me. I can help with this and of course with the actual boots on the ground job of finding the right place for you. And I've got to say that actually being here in Marbella, it's not so easy to find negatives because this is probably one of the best places to live in Europe for sure. But there is one negative that I can definitely tell you, and ironically, it's motivated by the fact that so many people want to come here. That negative involves property prices. There is no question that with the advent of people coming to change their lives and seek this kind of lifestyle in the Costa del Sol, inevitably the prices of properties have gone up. Since COVID, in 5 years, there's been a 72% increase in property values. Can you believe that? So it's not like it used to be. When I came to this coast, you could buy a property down in Manilva for 90,000 euros. Not anymore. Of course, there are areas further east or west where the prices drop off a little bit, but you can still be close enough. So it is affordable. But be clear about one thing. Property prices here in Marbella are strong. The good news is that although property prices are strong and the property taxes are also strong, the running costs of living here are not too bad. I often get that comment from American clients who are used to paying hefty property taxes in Florida, for example. Here in Marbella, here in Spain, the running costs, the ongoing taxes and running costs of owning a property are actually quite affordable. So it's not all bad news. So this is something I need to tell you about in terms of what to be aware of when buying a luxury property in Marbella, such as these here behind me. This development of luxury apartments is called Epic. They're certainly let's put it like this, they're expensive. Now, you might buy one of those and then within a year or 2 years, you could find that the land opposite has been redesignated and is now being developed for a luxury villa complex. This particular one is a phenomenon which is becoming more common in Marbella and in Dubai, and that is the advent of the luxury residential property, which is branded residences. This one is Dolce & Gabbana. Now, of course, 3, 4, 5 years' time, this will have beautiful villas sitting on the hillside. But in the meantime, we have to be aware that there are lorries, there are cranes. We might come down here one day and find that the road is cut off because they need to perhaps dig something underneath it to bring infrastructure to the villa complex. So there is always building works and congestion, which comes with an area being so popular that new developments are springing up. Be clear about that. So you do have to be aware of these things, that sometimes you can find diversions, traffic jams, all sorts of construction lorries. But the good news is that when you've been here for as long as I have, 25 years, you know all the back streets, you know all the detours, and I can even show you farmers' land that has tracks on it that we can take to reach a destination much more quickly. It's all about who you know, not what you know. And so it actually is really interesting, having come from that building site to now look at this, which is, if you like, the finished product, which is part of the Costa del Sol. So a lot of information, a lot of ground to cover. Be sure to watch my next video for more insightful information about Marbella and the property market here.